Go.
Okay. A little review over our standpipe hookup, the appliance bag, and a general starting point when it comes to this kind of what's considered a low frequency, high risk type of a fire. So a lot of pieces, parts are in here. The main ones that we're going to go over to start, when we run into a Knox cap, we want to make sure we have the Knox key with us. These are typically clipped on to the standpipe bag, and also there's typically an extra one in the cab of the trucks, somewhere in the driver's seat area. So this is critical to take with us because we don't know if there's going to be a Knox cap or not once we get into the building. Once these security caps are on, if you come up, if you give it, you hear that clicking, it's locked correctly in place. Right in here is, you'll find that little detent will drop into place, and then from there, pull the cap and just righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and once it's loose, this will unscrew the way anything a normal cap would. This little rubber cap is one of the potential issues you could find. This is not supposed to be in there once it's put in service, but that little rubber cap will keep you from being able to put the key in. These may need removed with a small screwdriver. Those should be supplied somewhere in the appliance bag that you brought with you. But again, if that key doesn't fit, it's possible one of these rubber caps is in there, screwdriver to get it out, and then again, put the key in. See if you can unscrew her here. Doesn't take much. The cap's pretty heavy, so watch when it comes off, and just set this to the side. Once that's done, don't stick your finger in here feeling for debris. Even if it's just rust or dirt or rocks, it could still be sharp and you end up getting cut. A flashlight, and try and take a visual look in there, and if you are going to poke around, using a tool that's already in the bag to try and dig out any debris that might be in there is something to consider, or even the same screwdriver that we just talked about for the Knox cap. The next thing you're going to want to have to come out of the appliance bag before you open this and flush the system is our gate valve. The gate valve needs to go on. So we can take control should there be an issue with the standpipe control wheel. If there is no control wheel, this is why we have the pipe wrench. So whether there's a control wheel or not, you can always use the pipe wrench. But once this comes open, we have to plan that this might not have been serviced over the years, and due to corrosion and poor maintenance, once this opens, we may not be able to close it. So once this fully opens, we control our valve that we brought with us as we are able to fine tune the pressure that we need for our hose. There is another option here that can come in later, and that's the elbow. The 2.5 elbow may be required if our standpipe connection is too close to a wall or coming out of a cabinet or a corner. If you have to use the elbow to make that happen, then it would go ahead. If you've got the space to work, don't worry about the elbow. The elbow will come on afterwards. Once this is open and we're ready to flush the system, open this up all the way and let it start flushing. This could take several minutes. If debris is in here, there could be rocks shooting out or little pieces of garbage and things like that. If the water is coming out at a nice steady pressure and it's not popping with debris still shooting out, even if it's brown, it's probably good to go, okay? If it's coming out and shooting stuff out, debris is still shooting out, or it's sludge and muddy, keep letting it flush. Again, don't rush this part. This could take several minutes. Once you're happy with this being flushed, close our valve. Okay? The next thing to go on would be our pressure gauge. This inline pressure gauge may or may not have a rubber cap protecting the bezel. If it does, just pop that off so you can get a good view of it. And then the next thing to go on is now our elbow if needed. This can help change the angle of the hose line and make it go to the floor more naturally, or try and kick it away if you are pinned in a corner or something. There is a bleeder here, okay? That is, there is an emergency where the hose line gets charged dry and it slides under a door, a fire door or a smoke door or something mid-span in the hallway. That pressurizes and blocks the door shut. We can shut this down, open our bleeder, and drain pressure off of that standpipe to pull the hose back out from under the door crack. Other than that, you don't need the bleeder. This stays open. Gate valve, inline gauge, our elbow if needed, and then the last thing is our reducer from the 2.5 down to the 1.5 inch coupling, which is what our hose hooks to. Okay? If you don't need the elbow, you don't have to use it. But with our bundles that are 2-inch hose with 1.5 inch couplings, this reducer is mandatory. So from taking control of our wheel, the specialty lock cap, and the way the device is set up, now we're ready to go to hook our hose line, flake it out, send pressure to it, and now I will dial in my pressure with the gate that I brought, and I can fine tune it versus trying to use this old crusty one that was probably been around for decades and hasn't been serviced correctly. So I hope that helps everybody out. And again, like normal, just ask your officers. You can catch me or anybody else if there's any questions about that. That should do it.